Hello, welcome to Star Trek Pathos, Season 1, Episode 3, the Casablanca Experiment, Part 2. And with me here, I have got several players. There's one of them. Would you like to say hello?
Hello. Yes.
Hello.
I shall introduce my character.
Yes, from top to bottom, as
Yes,
usual.
now you've switched the screens, yes. Right. I am CangoFango, also called Cango. And I play Doviah Drenlich Twossock, the communications officer on the USS Pathos.
Great. Is there any way that you could increase the brightness of your face cam?
I know, it's a bit... if I had a light here, it would be better. But I can increase my screen brightness, but it's just really glowy.
I could have this on, and that would make it more visible. And even if I change this to that, that would be more visible, but it doesn't look as cozy then.
Yeah.
So I'm going to turn that back up. I'm going to turn that off, unless I change my mind.
It's your call. If you want dark, then sure.
I mean,
If you
this is
want
cozier,
bright,
but... Also, right, next player.
Oh, right. Yeah. I'm Dodrebur, or Dodd. I play Captain Shiun of the USS Pathos. I'm a Vulcan. It's fun times.
Great. And now, next player.
I'm Rogue. I play Nero, Backfire, Jeff. A number of games in one, but hey. And I play the pilot.
Okay, and now the last but not least player is not here yet, so that's okay. It's gonna be a trend. That's fine. Okay, so with that, who wants to do the recap?
I wonder.
I didn't say who was going to do it, I said who wants to do it. Right, so I guess I'll do it then. I don't mind.
Sure.
Last time, you were on your way to pick up some crew members when you were diverted by orders to check up on a ship called the USS Casablanca, an old Daedalus class vessel fitted with some really specialist scientific equipment, which is which has been operating in an area of space known as the Courting Shell Expanse. At the heart of this expanse is a cluster of neutron stars, which create subspace disturbances all throughout the area. They get the denser the closer in you get. Upon making contact with this ship, it was discovered that there was only one crewman aboard, the captain, Commodore, and, there were no signs of battle, and it was really quite strange. It is also of note that this is the same ship that Nero has served on for quite a while before the Pathos, and this guy's his old commander, his old captain. Also, this is the game with, yes, Yosef Westacre. Yes, Yosef Westacre also had a run-in with this guy when they were rescuing some people and there was a transporter accident. So, upon investigating further, it was discovered that the Casablanca was performing some experiments, some transporter experiments, using the subspace anomalies here to attempt to create a transporter that can beam for great distances between planets, many light years, which has previously been thought to be impossible. Chat, if there's a volume issue, please let me know and I can fix it. Even if it's a small issue, please let me know, I can try to fix it. Right. That was not part of the recap. So, let's get back to it. Oh, I can hear an owl. Yes, that was an important part of the story. But no. Right, anyway.
Oh no, made the space owls.
Anyway.
The capital owl.
So you were told that... So the captain was told... well, captain and chief science officer, whose name I shall look up. What was his name? Oh, Lieutenant Commander J. Baylor.
Baylor. Mm-hmm.
No relation to the Baylor from the other campaign, probably. Who knows? And yeah, he told you that they were running these experiments, and they can't go into too many details. However, there was an experiment, a capacity experiment done where they beamed the entire crew off. They were aiming for a planet. However, there was a comet that is on a very elliptical orbit, goes very close in through a cluster, comes back out, and that had a strange energy clinging to it, something that creates disruptions. This was realized too late, and so according to the Commodore, the transporter signal got caught in that. And that comet has gone all the way around, is now coming back on its way up. So now you've got a chance to get them back, because the signal hasn't degraded yet. And to take advantage of this chance, he's requested that some engineers look over the Casablanca, as well as to have access to the Pathos' sensors to gather more data on the comet to better prepare for this. And we left off finding out that even though the Casablanca is mostly functional, the transporter systems are shot, and it'll take at least a week to fix them, maybe more, given that role. Am I forgetting anything?
Yeah, don't remind me.
Am I forgetting anything?
I don't think so.
I don't believe so.
Okay. Right.
Thank you for the recap.
Hello, Roomsbath. Yes.
And Willis 1961. Hello.
Ah, you're in chat as well.
I saw you in the view. Yeah?
Ah, nice. Okay. Right. So, hello. Yes.
Indeed,
We've just finished the recap, and now we're getting started.
Right.
So, let's see, which scene should we have first? Okay, yeah, that'll be fine. That will be fine. Oh, another thing I did forget is that there were some shuttlecraft missing, and that has not been addressed yet.
Oh yeah, 2, was it?
Uh-huh. Right. So.
But the one with the answers went to sickbay.
Mm-hmm.
So.
He did. So you could check up on him, maybe, see how he's doing. Right. Let's resume on the Pathos. So you've just had the conversation with the Commodore, and Jay Baylor is on the bridge, and he is conducting some long-range sensors to try to locate this comet and to perform some basic long-range scans of it. Is there anything that you would like to do? Maybe some questions you would like to ask, or some things you would like to inquire about? Actually, no! Wrong! I did miss another thing, an important thing. No, at the end of the session, you weren't on the Pathos. You went over.
No.
You went over to check the...
Yes.
How did no one think of that?
It's always like that, though. It's always
Yeah.
like that, though. Of course. No. Sorry. No, you
You
went...
need to get their data.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, who did you take with you?
I see.
I think it's just me and Baylor.
You and Baylor. Okay, yes. That makes sense. Because I was thinking, wait, there's something else happened, because this doesn't seem quite right. And then I remembered, of course.
Yes.
Yes, but it's because it happened right at the end of the session and it didn't have any consequences yet. That's why I didn't remember it.
Alright, that makes sense.
Anyway, sorry. Now that that's out of the way, let's actually begin. I was testing all of you. Yeah, it was just a test.
Of course.
Yeah, okay, we believe you.
Yeah, no, of course. So, Yeah, of course. Yeah, you're in the computer core on the Casablanca, and you are downloading the sensor data. Has your facecam gotten even darker just now?
Yeah, it's
Alright,
it's
the screen
dependent
brightness.
on what's
Alright.
visible on screen.
So yes, I can
At the
already tell that
moment-
this is a very focused
at
game
the moment
today.
it's only the Roll20 chat that's illuminating me, really. That's the white rectangle.
So yes, you're in the computer core, and you are getting access to the sensor data and the logs. Is there anything, so you're not going to have to roll to get access to it, but is there anything specific you would like to research first? Hello, VGR.
Hello.
Hello. What questions did I have? Oh dear.
Well, you may
I
want
don't
to.
remember what I
You
was
may
thinking
want.
about last time.
Well, different directions you may want to take this in could be researching what other experiments they've done, or if there have been what happened with shuttlecraft, perhaps, or what the results were of these experiments, or things like that, perhaps, or if there were any other ships that have previously rendezvoused with this ship, or things like that, maybe. Of course, it's up to you.
Alright. Yeah, probably the collected experimental data from their previous efforts. I think it's going to be the most immediately important. We'll address the rest as we get more
Okay.
info.
So I'm assuming you're downloading this, you're copying this onto those rectangular tapes that they have, those,
Yeah.
yeah, those blocks essentially. Okay. Right, so you don't have any specific questions you would like to ask at this time?
Well, I assume since they're at the point of doing a capacity test, they must have had some successful smaller scale tests before. I think I'd look to see how those progressed.
And that would be reasonable. Okay. So as you look into this, they've been working on this here for the past 2 months. Sorry. For the past 2 months. And about 2 weeks ago, they had the first successful transport to a barren world that is a few light years away. They only transported some inorganic matter, and when they attempted to transport organic matter, they ran into some serious issues. However, eventually, those issues were ironed out, and they managed to transport organic matter safely. Furthermore, they managed to transport an individual, one of the scientists who were behind developing this. They were transported to a world. It is barren, but it does have an atmosphere, caught gas, which is again a few light years away. They managed to transport there, but they couldn't beam back, and so they had to get him by going there and then beaming on and then coming back here. A few more experiments have been done, most of which have been successful. 2, however, were not. 2 of the scientists during these experiments did not survive the transport. Then there was that fly. Haha, great reference. yeah. There was a period of time where there weren't any experiments done, a few days, and then approximately 4 days ago, they did this capacity experiment using the ship's main deflector dish and modifying the warp bubble created by the warp coils to essentially act as one big transporter field, then beam that through the main deflector dish. And that's where it went wrong. It got caught by some sort of interference. And this was when the the comet was nearby. And there have been no more logs made. There are some personal logs from the Commodore. However, you would need to have a justification for looking at those personal records.
I suppose the research alone wouldn't suffice.
Well, if the doctor was here, maybe.
Alright, so with the ones that died in the transport, I assume they figured out the cause of that since they resumed experiments. So what
Probably. Was that? Okay. Well, there are millions of variables, and it looks like it was just a flaw in the calculation somewhere that didn't account for this specific set of variables being in this specific state, essentially. Nothing specific, nothing major that it's like, oh, of course, if the stars are aligned in this way, of course it doesn't work. No, it's just an experiment that failed. Although, I guess you could say it's a success in a certain way, because they did learn from it. So...
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Alright.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, let me think.
During this, Jay Baylor is looking at the scans that were taken of the comet. And he's busy doing that. Over to another console.
Cool.
At Eliza, sure. Okay.
So I can't think of any more obvious questions to ask about the experiments.
Well, if some of the other players have suggestions.
Where were they trying to transport in the capacity experiment?
That same planet. It is a rocky world. There is no life there. However, a only slightly toxic atmosphere has been accumulated through drifting gas. By slightly toxic, I mean you could reasonably live there for weeks or perhaps even months before you would feel any symptoms. So it counts as breathable. It is, yeah.
Wouldn't Do we know if they made it to the planet or not?
They didn't. The signal was caught by the comet.
Okay.
At least that's the going theory.
Okay.
Do we know how long before the signal deteriorates?
So the extrapolation indicates that it will be about, let's see, it'll be about 1 or 2 days maybe. At that time, the comet will be at its closest point to the cluster again.
Cool. So I don't think we're using this ship's transporter system.
And yes, 4 days for an orbit is very, very fast. However, you're not that far out from the cluster, so that explains it. Okay, so while that's happening, the other 2 players are also on board this ship. No, it's the other 1 player is also on board the ship, and the other player who's not here is also on board the ship. So, Nero,
Yes.
you are on the bridge. It is quite small.
Nope. Nope.
Oh right, it was Westacre was on the bridge. Sorry, my mistake.
Where's he on the bridge? I'm on the,
yes, Westacre. Yeah. Okay, you're overseeing the repairs of the transporters.
I
That's
don't
right,
to be
yeah.
on
Probably.
bridge.
That is right.
Probably also throwing things around, so just throwing things around, probably. This is absolutely, well, blown, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
So, yeah, he's probably literally just throwing a tantrum,
So-
throwing things at...
Right.
Makes sense for the role we got.
Yeah.
So
You're supposed to be guiding people, but they just kind of give you weird looks as you throw stuff around the room.
yeah. So a lot of the work that you're doing currently is
He's
just
done it again!
it's just basically tearing out fused parts of circuitry and machinery, cutting it out with lasers or phasers, phase beams, and
He's
just
done it
taking it
again!
out. And you're creating spares on the Pathos that are being beamed over, installed, but it's a very slow process, and yeah. So as this is carrying on,
Yeah, probably literally tear my hair out. He's done it again.
okay, right. So yep, he has. So that's happening. Now let's go back to the bridge of the Pathos, where I mean, I'm getting all of the character locations wrong. So Kango, your character is currently on Rurapenthe, correct?
Whose?
Yours.
Ah,
You know the Klingon icy prison world,
my character?
yeah? Or did I get something wrong?
What?
I think that's the Badlands you're
What?
looking at. Actually, no, that's the bridge of the.
Oh, the
Pathos,
bridge.
of
Sorry, yeah,
course.
it's the bridge. Okay.
Easy mistake.
Easy mistake, yeah. Of course. Who doesn't mistake the bridge of the main ship with Klingon ice prison world? Anyway,
Of course.
Sounds like a
so
holiday.
you're on there, and after a while, the Commodore comes onto the bridge. He walks onto it, and no one stands up, and he just wraps his voice.
I stand up.
Okay, do you salute?
Would I know that he's the Commodore?
Yes, he's wearing Commodore's uniform. Plus, I think he was already on the bridge.
Oh yeah. Sure. Commodore on the bridge.
Okay, yes. Thank you. And he walks over to the captain's chair, sits in and swivels it to the front, kind of leans over, and he says, "What's the status of the comet?" And he quickly gets a response, and saying the comet is about 10 hours from its apogee, which is the furthest away point in an orbit of the orbiting body. Well, the body that is being orbited, first away point. And he kind of grimaces a bit and then turns over. He says, "Right. Science, I want you to get teams on shuttlecraft. Go out there, intercept it, get scans." There's kind of a little moment of pause, but he then rasps his voice again, and they comply. The guy at the science station, stands up and goes over and he organizes it. Stands there, he's just kind of thinking, staring at the screen. On the screen you can see the cluster of neutron stars as they're orbiting each other, and yeah.
Also, did anyone else
Thinking.
stand up when I stood up?
Yeah, 2 other people maybe. Not everyone.
Okay, so will I sit down again now?
Yes.
Okay.
You can also
Sure.
stop saluting if you want to.
Oh yeah. Okay, sure.
Okay. Then says,
Just throughout the entire duration where he's on the bridge, just stand there.
he left quite an
Steve would
impression.
probably do it in the other game.
Probably. Right, so he says, without turning to you, he says, "Comms. What's the status of the Casablanca?"
Alfred, would that be a role, or what does it mean exactly?
No, it's just asking you for information, and you would have been kept up to date with what's happening in terms of repairs and things like that. And you also would know that the captain and science officer are over on the on the ship as well.
Right,
with the shuttle.
so how far are the repairs?
Well, like I said previously, everything seems to be fine,
Alright,
except for the transporters, which will take over a week to fix.
Right. So the ship itself is fine. Only the transporters, they need some work. They need over a week to fix. And the captain of the Pathos and the
A
science
week,
officer.
you said?
Yes.
Damn it. Comms. Tell the repair crews over there to get a move on. We don't have a week.
Alright. Sure.
Okay?
Yes.
So you would call Westacre. Let me just quickly get his character sheet up. So I just need to look. Oh, I forgot it. I just want to quickly look at his values. Okay, right. Yeah. So do you call him?
Yes.
Okay. He responds. He says, "Westacre here."
It comes. Commodore says that the engineers should get a move on because we haven't got a week. He told me to tell you.
Well, why doesn't he come over here and do his own dirty work?
And also, if the communication is still of me and the pairs and Westacre, he probably hears a lot of bad language. Should we just say that?
Sure.
Cover a certain person.
Even that's your origin
doesn't
series.
really-
Sure.
Yeah, it's
It's not exactly.
it's
that.
fine. It's a different show.
Okay.
It's a different show.
Sure. Yes. I don't know. He just told me to tell you. Can't
Right.
change it.
Very well.
Good luck
I will
with the
inform.
repairs.
I will inform the teams. They won't be happy about it.
Yes, I can imagine. Right.
Westacre out.
Sure.
So he informs Nero as well that the Commodore
Nero
wants you
will
to speed
come.
up.
Okay.
And Nero will have the point will be, well, tell this from me to the corridor is, and there's a lot of should we just say a lot of
Colourful
foul
metaphors.
language. Yeah, colourful language, and also to next time stay out the engine room.
Okay. Right. He says he'll relay that information. And he calls the
probably
Pathos
don't
again.
Sorry, but
And he relays the information to you, Kango. So,
What's the information?
no, what Roach said.
Okay, alright, sure. Sure. That's fine.
How do you phrase it?
To the Commodore?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I probably...
That is the question.
I would probably paraphrase it a little bit.
paraphrase it. Should we just say, if I could say it on the stream?
No, I don't want to put the mature rating on.
But yeah.
Yeah,
I
we
just
just say
paraphrase it.
that will have to be put on.
I just tune it back a little bit, but I still get the message across to him.
Okay. Right. He doesn't seem to be affected at all. He's just staring at the view screen. So what do you want to do, Kango?
So do I know that he's heard, like pay attention to it, or
Oh
heard
yeah,
it?
he's definitely heard it.
Don't know what I can do really. I mean, I'm just the comms officer.
You can say things. You don't have to have a different rank or position. You're part of the bridge crew. You can say things.
Roleplay, Kango. Roleplay.
Yeah, come on.
I know. Well, I do want to, but.
So he has. So what do you as a player think his condition is?
He's mentally not prepared for this.
Yeah, I mean, he does seem to be.
This is where we need a doctor.
Wait, what?
He's
not
not
capable
capable of leading.
Well, I don't think anyone outside the sickbay would know that he had a medical examination.
Mm-hmm. No one would know.
Because last time
Oh yeah.
they saw him,
Mm-hmm.
he was talking with the captain.
Yes.
Oh yeah. So I wouldn't. Yeah. So he's just staring at the view screen.
Mm-hmm. You can hear the beeps and buzzes of consoles all around you.
We all
Inside.
know he's had a mental breakdown.
You don't have to say anything if you don't want to. I was just asking if you wanted to. Or should we skip ahead a bit? Because at the moment, the thing that's running is them getting the data.
Okay, sure.
copying
Sure.
it
Let's
on, and we can
just
skip
skip
ahead.
ahead then. Let's skip ahead. Let's.
Okay.
Later perhaps.
Right, sure.
Huh.
So you finish
Sure.
copying all the relevant data onto those tapes. You've got a whole crate full of them. And now you want to take the shuttle back to the Pathos, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Go to the shuttle bay. Enter. The shuttle gets turned around on the turntable. Gets depressurized. The hangar doors open. Fly out. And as you turn around, you can see the stunning visual, the stunning vista of the USS Pathos there. As you approach, you come around enter through the back, and you can see that the shuttle bay looks emptier than it was before. As you land, hangar doors close, pressurization happens, shuttle door opens. Welcome back. So, what do you want to do?
Great. I'd send Baylor to the labs to get as much of an understanding as possible. And then I guess I'd probably go to sickbay, because that's the last place I knew the Commodore was going to.
Very well. Okay. So, on the bridge, there is a notification that the shuttle has returned. And as the Commodore is hearing this, he turns around, he says, right, they've got the logs. And he says, he presses a button on his chair, he says, this is the Commodore to main engineering. I need you to get an engineering team to look over the logs and make some preparations to the transporter systems. Adjustments. Follow the procedures to the letter. And reads the button, doesn't even wait for a response, and turns back. Stares at the view screen. So, right, Shiun gets to the sick bay. You can see the beds there with the monitors on the wall behind them. Is there? I'll get a link up. One moment. TOS sick bay images, just so you can see what it looks like. There we are. That should be good enough. Yay, it's not 500 characters long, or longer than that. So there we go. I've put in in-game chat. That's an image of part of the sick bay, with the sick beds laying there with the monitors behind them.
Huh?
Okay.
Okay.
And
Looks very uncomfortable.
well, it does a
Or
bit.
is that just me?
A bit, yeah. But that's the covers that are there. That's the covers on the bed. They're just tucked in on that picture because that's a CGI image.
Right, yeah.
Okay. Actually, I might have a look at that later. Anyway, so because that looks like it's a simulation, like a 3D walk-around simulation, because it says Unreal Engine 4 and there's a web link. Anyway, so you get there. There are a few nurses there. And what do you want to say?
Has the Commodore been here?
Oh, Captain, yes, he was here. We put him through a physical exam and a basic mental examination as well. The physical exam turned out quite well. There's nothing physically wrong with him. And he was quite reluctant about the mental exam. He kept saying that he was needed on the bridge, and he ended up skipping some of the non-essential parts of it. The results of which are currently being analyzed by our computers. I shall have the result shortly. Do you have any questions?
What sort of non-essential parts are we talking about?
Oh, just questions about his past. As you are aware, I'm sure, the normal psychological tests include questions about relationships, about past trauma, and, for example, in the childhood or in terms of career, things that have happened previously, things like that. If he has artistic expressions available to him, stress, that sort of things. He did answer the more important questions, though.
Very well. Notify me as soon as the analysis is complete.
Of course, Captain. Okay. Right.
And do you know where he went?
I believe he said he was going to the bridge.
Very well.
I'm assuming you're going to the bridge as well? Or do you want to go to main deflector control?
Yeah.
Everything fun happens in main deflector control.
Uh-huh.
No, that's the other game.
So, the turbo lift takes you to the bridge. You enter the scene. You can see he's sitting there in his main chair. And it's weird. I've got the Twitch chat open, and I've got it also on OBS. And in OBS, I can see messages appearing about maybe 2 to 3 seconds before they appear on the browser pop-out chat. That's strange.
Interesting.
Hello, Willis. Yes, again. There we go. He went to the bridge to hijack your ship. He's suffering from Commodore Decker syndrome. Haha.
Oh,
well,
God, yes. Yeah,
do you actually know who Commodore Decker
he's
was?
definitely- No.
Ah, well, I suggest you look it up. From the episode The Doomsday Machine. Great episode. One of the best of TOS.
Mental.
Anyway, right, so you get to the bridge. He's sitting in your captain's chair. And as you enter, he swivels the chair around, turns it around on its pivot, says, "Captain, hello. Welcome back. I have already initiated some of the preparations that will be necessary to attempt a rescue of my crew."
And what preparations are those?
Modifications to the transporter systems, as well as I've sent out shuttles to perform more close-range scans of the comet.
Speaking of that, you had 2 shuttles missing from your ship, but everyone was transported. May I ask what happened to them?
Yes, they've been positioned as relays to amplify the signal. They are unmanned. They're still operational. Nothing has affected them. Pull up the view on main screen, and you can see on the main view screen it comes up a map of the system. You can see the 2 signals of the shuttlecraft transponders in basically creating a cone shape towards where the planet is that they're being in that direction. So you've got the Casablanca here, and you've got the 2 shuttles over here, creating a cone, a triangle across them.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Very well. Captain, I believe you are best applied in this situation in researching the data. Your scientific achievements do indicate that you will be of great assistance in this department. I'm sure that Lieutenant Commander Baylor can use your assistance.
Very well.
Okay. Right, so
I think Shiun starts heading towards the labs, but on the way sends a message to comms to keep her updated on everything the Commodore is doing.
Haha. Oh, did you trust him? Willis says,
totally.
"Oh no, no, get out of my chair," he says. Hello, Mr. W.
Hello.
Mr. W, hello. Right.
We're currently live streaming.
Mm-hmm. We are. So Jay Baylor is already in the is already in the science labs, the modular laboratories, performing several calculations and simulated tests of certain situations, trying to recreate some of the conditions virtually that were present during these experiments to try to gain more information. Willis says, "I would tell him he needs to return to sickbay to complete his exam. Until then, he's not cleared to resume any duties." Well, great contribution.
I
there.
don't think you got the. Should you just say, I don't
Well,
think.
I don't think she has the authority to
Yeah.
do that to a Commodore.
You don't, because if the examination did say that he was unstable, then that would be grounds to basically tell him you're no longer capable of commanding.
Will says yes, she does.
Yeah, but the thing is that this exam was done. However, there isn't any reason to do this yet. If it turns out that there is some concern there, then yes, you do have the authority. However, because there hasn't been any behavior so far that was dangerous or severely concerning to that extent, you're not quite there yet. Well,
You just say a certain person.
what concerning
I've already
behavior?
tried that once.
What concerning behavior, Willis? Just the fact that he's taken over the ship. He's a Commodore after all.
Oh yeah.
Also, Mr. W, Dodd
Yes.
has posted what happened in-game chat, just in case
Oh,
you
sure.
just in case you
Thank you.
missed it.
I think I know who we're talking about, at least.
The Commodore,
The
yes.
Commodore.
Right. Okay. So, give me a science plus reason check. Difficulty 2, assisted by Jay Baylor.
Right. For first roll of the session. Me.
Shall be
An
interesting.
hour into it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah.
Nearly an hour.
Don't forget, most role playing is basically what, like mostly role playing rather than just.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You'll get a lot of that in Fate Core, just not rolling for a very long time.
Ah.
So science
Nice.
and reason, right?
Mm-hmm. Science plus reason. Assisted. Oh, also assisted by the ship. So you're gonna get 2 assists on this.
Cool. Cool. Okay. Yeah, I don't think any focuses apply. So yay! 2 successes.
Great.
Ah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good start.
So, let's see what Jay Baylor gets.
Come on, lay luck rolls.
And the ship.
Okay. So that's
Nope.
3 successes.
Oh,
Sorry, no, that's
three
wrong.
good.
Why did I type? Hold
What?
on.
Why did you?
I pressed the wrong. I thought I pressed 1. Oh, there we go. That's
Oh, that's
1
good.
success.
Is
That's
that
still
the
one. That's still 1 success. No, that's Jay
Oh
Baylor.
yeah.
Sure.
Right. Rogue, would you like to roll for the ship?
Yeah, I'll give me a sec. What is the ship? Is it?
It is science. Hold on. A moment.
So
It is science plus computers.
hold on. Computers, science. We're rolling 1. That's always on. Hold on. Task roll. 1.
Great.
So that's
4 successes.
Okay,
Alright.
it is 4 successes.
Wow.
So
I think.
difficulty 2.
So we're up to how much momentum?
2.
2.
Yes, there were so many scene changes, the rest evaporate. You only had 2 to
Yeah.
begin with, so...
Yeah.
Okay,
Alright, sure.
so... right. The work is going really quite well. And... it looks like... there has been so much work put into this. This is beyond anything that you have encountered so far. The amount of theoretical physics in this is astonishing. These calculations use concepts that are only theoretical, concepts about how subspace and transporters can interact with parallel dimensions, parallel universes, is integrated in this as well, mostly to try to avoid that from happening. There's a little footnote about something happening with the Enterprise, not sure. And so much stuff that it would take you months or even years to even unpack all of this. So the only way that you're going to make any sense of this is to just try to work with it on a surface level, to assume that the base science behind how all of this works is correct, and use those axioms to then be able to work with how it is supposed to work. And you're making good progress. Yes. So, right. By the way, Mr. W, you've been instructed by the Commodore to hurry up with repairs. They're going to take over a week, and he wants them done much sooner. So, since you're in charge over there...
Yeah?
You can decide how many corners you want the engineering teams to cut. So, the more corners will be cut, the higher the complication range will be of any tasks that use the transporters of the Casablanca.
Oh, bloody hell. Fine.
So, the thing is, the comet will arrive in about a day-ish. Maybe a day and a half, around there. Which is when your opportunity will be to beam, to basically rescue the crew of the Casablanca. You don't know if the Pathos' transport systems will be enough. It could be that they're fine, but it could also be that they're going to need the Casablanca's transporters as well. This is your last chance. Yes?
How long would it take if I didn't cut any corners? Just to give like a base.
Over a week.
Over a week. Meg.
So basically, the question is by how much do you want to increase the complication range of any tasks? If you say you want to increase it by 1, so it's 19 to 20 on rolls, then that's cutting some corners. I will allow you to increase it to either 2 or 3.
Okay.
So 1, 2, or 3. So
okay.
1, 2,
and increasing it by 1 would give us enough time to...
That is unknown. It's just how much do you want to bet?
See, I'm tempted to do the really stupid thing and like do it like cut all the corners, but I mean, he may
Well,
be
there's
quite.
no one there to tell you what to do.
That's
so-
true. I think he is. I think Yosef, he is quite cocky, but I don't think he's that stupid.
He's cocky, not stupid.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I was just saying. So I'm thinking, putting complication range up 2.
Okay.
Right? I'm sure the Commodore will be pleased.
Okay.
Yes.
Let me just make a quick note of that.
I think it's stupid,
Oh,
but
yeah.
alright.
I just remembered. More recently, I might have to, like call off like a roundabout here. I mean, I know it's not ideal, but or maybe like in half an hour. I won't have to do it this time around, but
We can talk about that off stream. That's
Yeah.
yeah. We can discuss that later.
yeah.
Okay. So the complication range is going to be 20 to 18. Okay.
Yeah, I feel like that's a good halfway point.
Okay. Now, in addition to that, I would like. I would like Nero to make another check.
Oh,
So this is going to be engineering.
Good luck.
So either
he's
engineering,
not a happy bunny.
or command, plus presence. Or if you want to get more
They're
hands-on,
both the same.
or if you want to get more hands-on, I would also allow you to use reason. Or insight.
I just love the note of this despair in your voice when you said that they were both the same.
Like, did you see insight?
Yes.
Okay. Quantum mechanics doesn't. Negation, no. So that's a no. What's complication range?
Just one. Just one.
1. Okay, 2 dice.
Ah.
Wow!
Congratulations.
Another 2.
Great.
Okay.
Right.
So that's changed to 1 momentum, so we're up to 3. Okay.
Nice.
Oh, that's not bad rolls either. A
Right.
6 and 12.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Okay.
Mine was a 2 and a 10.
So, repairs are continuing. So, right, we need to skip ahead quite a bit. Well, a little bit, it's not, because there's one thing that needs to happen before. So, after about maybe 15 minutes of working on this, on the research, Shiun, you get contacted by sickbay. The results have been analyzed by the computer and by personnel as well. And although there are signs of significant stress, it came out okay. There are no signs of any dangerous mental state. He is in, according to the tests, he is in complete control of his senses and is capable of making rational choices.
Oh,
Alright.
I think that someone will probably disagree, but
I mean, in this situation, he hasn't done anything particularly irrational yet. Whether or not he's in a state where, you know... Well, I'd say in this state, probably he's more likely to make mistakes. But he does seem rational. I would agree with that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, now that you have this information, is there anything else you would like to do, or do you want to just continue with the research?
Yes.
Which one? Sorry, I think you cut off a little bit.
Oh, you cut out a bit too. I didn't realize there were 2 options.
Oh, sorry, no. Do you want to do anything else now that you have this information, or do you want to just continue with the research?
With Com still keeping her posted, I think she'd just continue with the research.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
With the updates, she'll be able to catch anything weird as it
Mhm.
happens, and hopefully prevent anything bad from happening early.
Okay, so now is the point where the shuttles that have been sent out need
Of course,
to do a...
the thing she doesn't know about is how many corners we're cutting in repairing the other ship.
And we already know we're
Hey,
going to be one
I could-
the one that's going to be screwed.
I could have cut at least one more. So leave off with you.
Okay. I mean,
I'm just saying that
if you wanted,
Shiun as a character would be highly displeased.
Okay.
Well, too bad.
Also, by the way, because you were cutting corners, I did also give myself a bit of threat, because that is creating
Yeah,
more
Yeah,
tension in
fair
the
enough.
situation.
More threat.
Uh-huh.
In all the sense of
Yes.
the word.
So so how many dice do you want the NPCs on the shuttles to buy for their scans of the comet?
Mm-hmm.
So they are using.
How much?
So they don't have much time there because they can maneuver in there, get closer because they're small enough to weave between the increased density of subspace disturbances. But it's
Of
a little
course,
bit tricky.
it's not there yet.
So we have 3 momentum.
I think this is pretty important.
I would say
Um,
1 at least.
I'm leaning towards 2 for this, because
Yeah, sure.
Like-
We'll get the momentum back eventually.
so like one thing to keep in mind is that like, yeah, we won't be able to spend the momentum later, but we also have determination if we're in a tight spot. NPCs don't.
Plus,
True.
if you use all of this momentum now, then you won't lose any to evaporation as the scene changes.
Yes.
True.
Oh yeah.
So, I think
Yeah.
2.
I would be on board with 2, yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
Sure.
right. That's interesting.
All right.
4d20.
Woo.
Oh!
Wow.
Well.
Just-
Oh my god. 2 crits.
Okay.
Well,
So,
I think I've just
Oh my
been
word.
told.
so the shuttle also,
Bloody hellfire.
the shuttle also assists. So let's see. No, that's not a success. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 successes because the 3 is also a crit because a focus applies.
Wow.
Okay.
Interesting.
So we've just gone to maximum momentum.
Yeah, we go.
And
then.
we've got 1 overflow even. We've got 1
Damn.
overflow even. So,
Interesting.
okay. There's not really a way you can ask
There
a
is.
question in this
Not
situation
really.
since you're not there. So I guess that momentum, that 1 will just vanish.
We
Uh-oh.
are the luckiest people on the planet, I swear.
Okay,
When
I'm
we-
glad you
when we
jinxed
need
it.
to
Thank
be.
you very much. Genuinely. Thank you for jinxing it. Okay, so,
Spent 3 momentum. Got it all back.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
And completely full.
Now that's a bargain if I've ever heard one.
Yeah.
Oh
Well-
my god.
Okay. Okay. Right.
Right.
So. Okay.
Well, at least we got the momentum for the actual thing that counts.
Yeah, yeah. We have plenty of momentum for everything that happens after.
Actually, you know what?
Oh.
Since there is going to be a skip forward in time, a scene change, I'm going to use that one momentum that would have evaporated, that overflow, and say that that's the one that evaporated because of the scene change.
Oh,
hell yeah.
that's kind.
Okay.
Wow.
Right.
Thanks for that.
So. Okay.
Appreciated.
What's the next thing that happens? Right. Repairs. That's just an ongoing thing. On the bridge, the shuttles have returned with more data, which you get given, Shiun, to aid in your calculations, which is going to be very helpful. Yeah, that comet. The scans reveal that the comet is lemon fresh and contains large quantities of bleach. Yes,
Yeah.
the transporter signal must
Great.
have messed with the chemical composition of the comet. So, no. So, okay, you get all that data. That helps with that. And on the bridge, so, hold on, need to look up the name. Doviah, of course.
Yes.
Doviah, you are keeping an eye on the Commodore, correct?
Sure.
Okay. He, as the time passes, as the hours pass, can see that he's getting slightly more restless. It starts with a little bit of finger tapping on the armrest, and then it gets to him slightly pacing around a little bit, and then he excuses himself from the bridge to get a little bit of rest before the comet is in range.
Okay, sure.
And he is actually, that means oh yeah, he's asking you to, of course, notify him if there are any developments, and he makes it quite clear he does mean any developments in this.
Sure. Okay.
And he leaves the bridge.
Right, okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
And just some NPC just takes the center chair.
Sure.
Okay. And I'm guessing you will report this to Shiun?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. June feels a little bit relieved.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Right. Let's see. Let's see what happens here. Let's roll a percentile check.
Huh?
11.
Okay.
Okay. No, nothing happens. Okay. So.
Alright.
Right. Repairs on.
Great, Willis. Very comforting.
Well, Spanner might Captain. No, not Captain.
Spanner?
So Spanner
Yeah.
might actually do that, but he's luckily not here. So
Thankfully.
right. The repairs on the Casablanca are coming along. Several of the other subsystems are some parts of it are having to be sacrificed to be converted to work with the transporter systems. For example, some of the food processing units. These are not actual replicators, but rather they use constituent parts of food that are already there to put them together to form food. Some of those parts of those systems have been reused to use the chemical filters as part of the transporter's biofilter system, to replace some of those components, and other systems include power that was normally allocated to the navigational deflector, which was already kind of hooked into the transporter system. That's being even more scavenged to fix parts, things like that. Some of the shield systems as well, which will about halve the shield strength as well, but there is good progress being made. It's touch and go. It's touch and go if you'll have it be done on time or not.
Right.
So this is happening on the Casablanca. Scavenge the parts from the other ship. Wait, the other ship would be the Pathos. So, are you sure about that, Willis?
Just borrow some screws.
You don't mind if it borrow? I'll return it. No, it's fine. Right, beam me over quickly.
Runs off
in the dust. Thanks.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
Great. Yes.
No, they weren't doing it on the Pathos. I gathered that you meant that, but no, they were doing it on the other ship. On the Pathos, things are going very smoothly.
The Pathos isn't in need for repairs.
Not yet, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I'm going to need one more roll from the repair teams on the Casablanca, as well as from the research teams on the Pathos. And this will determine to what degree you will be ready as the comet enters the window of opportunity. Which the window, judging from where you are now, is only going to be maybe 4 hours or something like that from your range. You could take the ships in closer, but then you're going to need navigation checks to avoid the subspace disturbances, which would have which are going to be quite difficult. And for the Casablanca, they are also going to have an increased complication range because parts have been scavenged and things like that. So where's Cotty when you need him? Probably trapped on a Dyson sphere somewhere. Oh no, that's not happened yet.
Maybe it's a holiday.
Right, so who wants to go first? Research or repair? I'll take that as repair. Okay, so thank you for volunteering to go first.
Yeah.
Rogue. So, how hands-on are you doing this?
How does that make it easy for myself?
Well, it's going to be engineering. It's going to be engineering plus control if you're doing it hands-on for this one.
Control and engineering. I will take that as a 14.
Do you want to buy dice? We've got 6 momentum. We've gone for full-on momentum. Do you want to buy dice?
Probably buy one.
Okay, and in this instance, I would allow Yosef Westacre to assist.
Aye.
Okay, so wait, how many? What did you say? How many did you want to buy? Sorry.
1, he said.
1. So we've got 5.
5 a momentum.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Complication range.
Complication range is 1.
Oh, good.
That's always a good sign.
What am I rolling again?
This is going to be so that depends. Are you assisting by trying to coordinate from the bridge, or are you getting down and dirty into the Jeffries tubes, frantically rewiring stuff?
What
I thought you
roles
were
would-
on the bridge.
What roles would those each be?
Well,
Or was that metagaming?
well, it is metagaming to an extent, but on the other hand, it does represent what your character is good at, so your character would help in the way that they are most able to help. So it's not that metagaming. So sure, I'll tell you. So if you're doing it from the bridge, it will be command plus presence. If it's hands-on, it'll be engineering plus control.
Okay, so command plus presence or engineering plus control. I will just check those.
I'm gonna roll mine, is that okay?
Yes, sure. You need to roll first anyway for him to assist.
Cool. Come on.
Ah.
Yeah.
Wow. Aha.
Yeah.
Give me all the ones today.
Yay.
Indeed.
Wow.
Yay.
And in this,
I just basically got rid of and went,
I deliberately didn't state the difficulty because this is just how well you're doing. Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
So
What did you say? Was it? You said it was.
either command plus presence if you're coordinating from the bridge, or if you're getting down and dirty in the innards of the ship, it's going to be engineering plus control.
Yeah, I'll do the command plus presence because that's 13, and
Okay.
the other one's 12,
That
and the other one's.
Plus, you don't have to change your uniform.
Yes, and the other
Yeah.
one is 11. So yeah, I'll do the one
Okay.
that's highest.
you were at the bridge anyway, weren't you? So it made
Mhm.
more sense.
Yeah.
I mean, he can move.
Yeah.
True.
Would focus apply for this, or is that not true for assists?
It can apply. It depends on the focus.
Shipboard tactical systems? Is there no one who can think like?
No, in this case, not so much. If you were fixing the
Oh,
weapons,
emergency procedures. I do have.
these aren't emergency procedures though.
Composure. I'm clutching at straws here.
No, sorry, no.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
At least you didn't try to convince me that infiltration would work.
Of course.
Yeah, that totally will work.
Ah,
If
congratulations.
you were me.
Wow.
Okay,
4.
So-
Nice.
that is really quite a good roll. Right.
And does the ship assist you?
Hold on. Does the ship have... No, in this case the ship does not assist.
Right.
Okay.
But 4.
Four.
It's got a
Yes.
rust bucket.
4. So, right. That all works great. Okay, so as Nero is crawling around Jeffrey's
Nero.
tubes, rewiring things, having a shield, faith shield to protect from sparks and things, with plasma cutters and stuff like that. Puffs of smoke coming out as things short circuit and fixing them by coordinating these teams. You
I'm on the bridge yelling
Yes.
out orders.
exactly coordinating where certain engineers are going. You've got all the different specializations of the team members on board on your pads, and you're looking through like, oh, and this guy has specialization. He's had training in this. Oh, and he's had training in engine systems. Oh, and he's got training in EPS manifolds. Oh, he would be useful there, and coordinating all those things.
I want you there. No, my left, my left, you fool.
Okay. No, the other my left.
My left, your right.
Somebody
No,
did it.
So that is working surprisingly well. Now, while this is going on... No, I said do not cut the red wire. Exactly. While that's going on, let's cut over to the modular laboratories. You've gotten the data in from the shuttlecraft, that the shuttlecrafts that were sent out. So now it is going to be a check. So for this, it is going to be your check, and it is going to be... So it's going to be the ship that assists, and Jay Baylor as well. And if that name Jay Baylor sounds a bit too human for an Andorian, it's because that's the name that he's usually called by, but his actual name, it just sounds a bit similar. It's not really his birth name.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna get 2
Like how
assists.
no Vulcan names are actually Vulcan names.
So, yeah, because there's actually one episode in the original series where Spock was affected by some aphrodisiac pollen on a planet. Anyway, and he fell in love with this woman, and then when the things were fixed, she said she wants to know his last name, his full name, and then he just said you wouldn't be able to pronounce it, and I quite like that.
Was that this side of paradise?
I think so, yeah.
I've got it. There
Right.
it is.
That's not parasites. That's paradise. Good.
What?
No. The word reminded me of parasites.
Postage on.
Anyway, you're gonna get 2 assists. How many dice do you want to buy?
Let's do a reference material.
I'll get the 1 die I can buy.
Good plan.
Right.
I mean, if you want to, you could say
Right.
you don't want Jay Baylor to assist. Instead, you would rather buy another die yourself because you've got better stats. If
Do
you
I have better stats?
depends. If you think you're more competent. By the way, this is going to be science plus reason. It's going to be science plus reason check.
So, on one hand, like,
Additionally, it also means that, well, actually no. If you spend determination, you can reroll any dice on a roll, so that doesn't.
yeah. I think those stats are pretty high for me. Like,
What's the combined total?
but it's still like a 14.
Okay. So what do you want to do? Do you have any talents that might help?
I don't think so. No, definitely not.
Yeah. Although
The
maybe
only thing
nerve
that's
pinch
even,
could
like,
help.
What?
Maybe nerve pinch could help.
La 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 la.
Okay.
I nerve pinch the data.
Yes. To force it to give up its secrets.
Yes.
Oh no, that would be if you had mind
But no.
meld.
Yeah. But then the data will just be unconscious.
Yeah, I think I'll stick with buying 1 die. I feel like diversifying the sources of the rolls it feels better to me.
Okay. However, do bear in mind that you need to get at least 1 success for there to be assists.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So
But I do have a 14 and I'm rolling 3 dice. So
interested to see how this turns out.
I think we all are.
yeah.
Wow!
Congratulations.
Great roll.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh my god, 157. Jeez.
Okay, that's a success. That's 5 successes.
Okay.
So,
We are just on fire today.
okay. Mr. W, would you like to roll for the ship?
No, we do not know. Just
Who?
don't say
Mr.
anything.
W.
We're just gonna let it go.
Jeez.
It is going to be another science plus computers roll.
Who did you ask?
You, Mr. W.
Oh, me. Oh, I missed that. Science plus what was it?
Science
For the
plus
ship.
computers on the
Plus
ship.
computers.
It's already selected, I think.
I'm just getting it up.
Okay. The ship is very helpful, apparently.
Oh, for God's sake.
Another one!
Wow.
Oh.
That's 6 successes.
No, that's 7 successes.
Really? 1, 2,
You said
3,
the 10
4,
was a success
5.
too.
And
Oh, 7,
earlier,
of course.
and
My
earlier,
mistake.
and earlier, I saw in the in-game text or whatever it was that you got 3 critical successes in one.
That
Yeah.
was like last.
Okay.
That was
Oh, was it? Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Ah. Right.
For goodness sake.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was last week. Jeez.
So,
We're just on
that
fire with
is
the-
actually gonna be... Okay. Yeah. Okay.
How are you gonna do it?
So, sure.
So, questions galore.
Yeah, if you want to ask, you can basically ask a lot of questions if you want to, but I'm not sure that that's going to be that helpful in this currently. Okay.
I think just being abstractly, we got this figured out.
Yes.
We're ready to go.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
fine.
So, yes, you are. Given the data, you do manage to confirm that
Just give me 1
indeed
second.
the transporter signal is trapped somehow in the subspace wake of this asteroid. I say asteroid, comet. And you manage to figure out how to beam them over.
Wow.
However,
Blow the friggin' ships up.
it is going to be quite a strain on the Pathos' systems. And for it to even be possible, you are going to need the assistance of the Casablanca.
Okay.
And it's not going to be easy.
Oh.
So, yes.
So
Welcome
no one's
back,
gonna blow
welcome back.
both the ships up. Yay.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
There you go.
Okay.
Oh,
So,
no.
now that you have completed your research, what would you like to do? Meanwhile, hidden cameras in the Commodore's quarters show him now talking to multiple imaginary friends. I mean, if you want to
Yeah.
look, if you want to go pay him a visit in his quarters, give him this information personally. That could be doable. Or maybe if you do want to use that nerve pinch, it would be the logical choice, of course. It
It's
always
certainly
is.
been a fun choice.
So knowing we'll be needing the Casablanca, with the update on that from that team, does it seem like that's gonna be doable?
Yes. But they don't. They say yes, but they seem a little bit hesitant.
I was going to say that was the most
Yeah,
strange
that's-
yes I've ever heard.
I think you'll find out it's probably very hesitant if it's.
So you think you've got the okay, so you think that you have got the job done. The transporters are back online. However, it's held together by chewing gum and duct tape.
Hey, sounds like my kind of
Or duct tape.
Yes, we'll
Just
just
say
we'll
we
just
may all
deduct
have
that
to-
from your pay. So,
I was gonna have a focus put together with duct tape. Oh wait, actually yeah. I actually have a value that says fix it with gum and duct tape.
do you?
Oh.
I vaguely remembered that, but I wasn't
right.
sure which character it was.
Wasn't
I
it?
forgot about
It's
that.
the
Well,
right character.
it all fits so great. It all fits so great. What flavor chewing gum?
I'll definitely do it later.
What flavor of chewing gum? It really makes a difference.
Yep, just
How about
Anyway,
Silurian brandy? Right.
We might
So-
have to stay over here to emergency fixes.
So, what is Shiun going to do?
I think Shun's gonna go talk to the Commodore.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Personally?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, there we go. Then.
Right. So, you go to the door of his quarters. Do you ring the doorbell? Or do you
Did she-
just enter?
Did she go to the Commodore?
I ring the space doorbell.
Space doorbell, yes. You ring the space doorbell of the space door
On the
to
spaceship.
let the space commodore know that the space captain wants to have a space talk with him.
On the spaceship.
Space, we're in space. Anyway,
I knew you
So-
were late. Yeah.
Love that.
right. You press the button, and after a moment, the door opens. The commodore is standing there and says, "Ah, Captain, I gather you have news. Please come in."
Enters the room.
You can see as you enter the room, there's just normal quarters. There's a coffee table, and it looks like there is a vase that was on one of the shelves that has fallen on the ground, shattered. But other than that, everything looks orderly.
Very well.
That's case news for me. So, what you
So-
want to do? Mm-hmm.
We have confirmed the status of the trapped signal and believe we have the means to beam them over. We will require the use of both ships' transporter systems, of which the Casablancas are tentatively and thinking of the word. What's the word I'm looking for?
Precariously.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for, more or less. I feel like there's one word that would be better, but there's no way I'm gonna think of it.
Delicately?
I don't know. Well, we'll just leave it alone.
Horribly put together.
Nope, we're leaving it alone. That's
Okay.
enough word suggestions.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say it. So, precariously repaired. It will be very difficult. However, the odds are not terrible.
Not terrible is all I wanted. I'm going to need a competent captain over there to be in charge if things go wrong. If there's an emergency, I need a cool head over there. And I can't think of anyone better than you.
Very well.
How is your research going? Have you found out what went
gone.
wrong?
Did I?
It looks like it was just a mistake in the calculations. That's all it was.
Another mistake in the calculations. Right. Another case of mistaken calculations.
Don't listen to Willis.
What?
Don't listen to Willis.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Listen to this, because I read it already. Well,
Okay.
we already know that we'll blow his ship's power thing, right? He's gonna end up taking our ship with him. Commandeer.
Okay.
Just
So, he then says, I knew those scientists were too careless. Their damn assurances. Very well. The comet should be entering the window shortly. If you'll excuse me, I need to gather my thoughts. Prepare myself.
Of course.
Thank you very much. I know that it does not mean a lot to someone who follows the teachings of Surak. However, I am grateful for all your assistance, and my crew will be as well. We are getting them back.
Yay!
Great. So, Willis wants you to scan for a mile-long giant space ice cream cone. And
As
he's
long as
not
it's not a
joking
spider,
either.
we're
Yes, he is
fine.
not joking. He's not joking. It does have context.
I'll pull up a picture.
Thanks.
So it's again from
Scan
the episode
for
Doomsday.
something else that I can't.
Yes.
So, oops, I
You're
didn't mean to
telling me.
close the chat. I'll
There it
open
is,
it back
right
up in a
there.
moment.
It's that.
Hold on, I need to open the chat back up. One moment.
Okay.
Wow.
Do you remember that?
Wow.
Do you remember the
God.
visual of that?
I did not.
Do you now?
Yeah. Wow. It reminds me of like those lesser sort of frozen snacks you'd get from the ice cream machine when they switched over and didn't sell actual ice cream anymore and only sold things that were packaged in individual things.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
I miss soft serve ice cream trucks.
Well,
much.
we have them
Oh,
here.
God, yeah.
There's one that comes around here in the summer, like pretty much every day.
I haven't seen one since I was like 8.
Uh-huh. So Willis says, notice how the Commodore is lounging back in Kirk's chair.
Wow.
Oh,
He
yeah.
found
Making
a
him
way
paranoid.
all the way to the Enterprise. They really fixed that long distance transportation.
Didn't they?
So, it's not a good sign, he says. Okay.
No, it's not. I'm just reading it right now.
So, let's actually continue with it. That sounds like a good idea.
God damn it. They're so screwed.
Okay. So, Shiun, where are you gonna go? Do you want to make a little stop on the bridge to give some last minute orders, or do you want to go straight back to the Casablanca? Well, now that you mention it,
Trying to think of if there's anything specific she'd want to address in the situation.
Right.
I think she would tell the bridge to be wary of orders to rush or I don't know, like I guess cut corners. Be wary of orders to like cut corners
Oh, thanks.
to get something done.
I'm so glad.
Okay.
Hey, the captain or the first officer.
Okay, right.
Because she knows
Uh-huh.
that Commodore is very stressed and is more likely to make a hasty decision if things aren't going super well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what happens to my orders to the other people then?
Well, we'll see. So, you do that. And at this point, so is there anything anyone would like to do before the comet gets within range?
Probably
And
check over the repairs.
Okay. And I mean besides getting over to the Casablanca, of course, for Shiun.
I'm already there.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So, on the Casablanca,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Because like, no one's going to be on the bridge. Everyone's going to be in like engineering and transporters. So I'm just not sure where would be the best like base of operations to monitor the situation.
That would probably be the bridge.
Okay. All right. I'm on the bridge.
Okay.
I
Over troubled waters, I'm sure.
do just kind of like
Is the bridge
yeah,
flooded
I
again?
just kind of like check in with everyone,
Mm-hmm.
make sure everyone knows what their part is to make
Yes.
sure everything goes smoothly,
Okay.
and just
Yeah,
Double
cat
check.
got fire extinguishers, everything.
Oh,
No,
Jesus.
there are no
Gun
fire
got
extinguishers.
taped.
There are
That's
no
the
fire
thing.
extinguishers.
Well, we're screwed.
No, in Star Trek there are no fire extinguishers. That's
Well,
no.
That's part of
fires
established
just
canon.
sort of they're accepted.
Yes.
Fires are accepted as a part
Okay,
of being
well-
on a starship.
Mhm.
okay. Let's say,
Right. So, question: is Yosef Westacre, as chief of security, are you going to stay on the Casablanca, or does the captain want you to go back to the Pathos to keep an eye on things as chief
One
of
of those-
security?
Well, one
I
of those
think-
one of those you can ask me, one of those you can ask Shion.
Shiun.
I think Shiun would send Yosef to be on the Pathos bridge. He's the first officer,
Mhm.
so
Yes,
if
it makes
she has to
sense.
be here, she'd
It
like
makes
the
sense.
first officer to be there.
Okay.
You got it, Cap.
Mm-hmm. Right. So, yes, that's all sorted out. Kango, is there anything you would like to do? Would you perhaps want to create a information, basically set up an information exchange network to coordinate between the two vessels more efficiently?
How would that be done?
Well, you would coordinate this with the comms officer on their ship on the Casablanca,
Right?
and it would be a role.
Okay, sure. If that
Basically,
helps.
you do comm stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean that does
So-
seem stuff I would do.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is going to be, of course, engineering plus control or
Sure.
presence. Presence would also work.
Sure. We've got how much momentum do we have?
We are full.
Oh, full again. So difficulty. Difficulty.
In this case, it is going to it's going to be a case of how many successes you get. Will be
Right. Sure.
Yeah. Oh, you've got collaboration engineering. What does that do?
I don't know.
I'll quickly look it up. One moment.
I'd like to.
It's on the document. Should be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
Cloud
Collaboration.
Security.
Collaboration.
Whenever you attempt a task with security. No.
No collaboration.
Oh,
when,
yeah, I'm looking
yeah,
at
you
it.
must choose a single. Blah, blah, blah. Whenever an ally attempts a task using that discipline, you may spend one momentum to allow the immediate use to allow them to use your score for that discipline. Instead, and one of your focuses.
Alright.
So that doesn't really help at this point.
Yeah.
You've got untapped potential, which allows you to potentially get a little bit of momentum back, but also generate a bit of threat if you spend some. You would roll a d6, a challenge die, and the value you roll will be the amount of momentum you get back. If you roll an effect, you generate one threat as well. And cautious means that if you buy stuff with momentum,
Mm-hmm.
using that discipline, then you can re-roll a d20.
Alright. I might go for the untapped potential then.
Well, you don't have to. No. You don't have to choose one.
Alright. How's it
They-
work then?
No, talents can just apply to a situation, which means that you get
Alright.
that you can choose. Yeah, you can let them apply to the situation. So you could theoretically apply all four of them if the situation was weird enough to warrant that.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like a great idea.
Sure. So I'd roll first.
Well, yes. Do you want to buy dice?
Yeah, that's
Sure.
important.
Yeah.
Because if you buy one die, then you can re-roll one with cautious engineering, and you can use untapped potential to potentially get that momentum back.
Sure. I'll buy one die if that's alright with everyone else.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. I shall roll. Focuses, subspace communications. I don't know. Probably not. Sure. I'll roll. Communication range was 1, correct? 1.
Mhm. 1.
Okay. That's the roll.
Ooh.
And I.
You rolled one too few dice.
Oh yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
You need to roll another one.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, of course. Forgot to add it. Okay. Can I
That's
re? Yes. Can I re-roll the first one with?
Yes. Just roll
Cautious
another one.
engineering. Okay.
3
Hooray.
successes.
Great.
Okay. And now, if you want to use untapped potential,
If I can do that, yeah.
you roll one challenge die,
Great. So.
and the value you
So-
get. So 1 is 1 momentum, 2 is 2. If it's an effect, so 5 or 6 is also 1 momentum, and if it's an effect, you also generate 1 threat.
Right. So do I enter 1 in the field?
Yeah, challenge dice 1, and then you click a button.
Okay.
Maybe you need to redo it. Sometimes roll 20 is bugged. Yeah, you need to
Sure.
redo it.
Oh yeah. There we
An
go.
effect. How nice, thank you. So you've regenerated
Right,
that 1
fine.
momentum,
Great.
and you've also generated 1 point of threat.
Nice. Well. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, great. So as that is happening, you manage to set up quite an efficient backwards and forwards and mode of communication to allow for the efficient transfer of information between the two to coordinate faster.
Great. I'm sure that'll help.
Okay. When this is all done, the officer at Science on the Pathos, as well as the one who's on at the Casablanca, are informing their respective commanding officers that the comet has entered transporter range. So you can tell that the Commodore, so, and by you, I mean both Doviah and Yosef, you can tell that the Commodore is getting quite nervous. He's tapping his fingers and kind of feeling his chin round a little bit nervously. And as Willis says, energize. I'm guessing that that's what we're going to do. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tee hee hee hee.
Okay. So. This is going to be. Originally, I had planned for this to be an extended task. However, I think it's better if we do it with individual roles. Plus, I don't really want any confusion about extended tasks at this point, because we don't really use them that much, and that might take away from the tension. So,
could be.
Okay. This role So this role is going to be. I want 2 roles. The first is going to be the people making a roll assisted by the ship. So assisted by this ship and assisted by the. So this is the Pathos. Assisted by the Pathos and assisted by the Casablanca. After that, I want a second roll, which is going to be the main roller is going to be the Pathos, assisted by the Casablanca. And we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
So.
Right then. Okay, what am I rolling?
So who
Are you rolling?
who
The
is
thing is,
like
that
in charge of this at this point?
it would be the chief engineer who would do the transporting.
The guy we don't bloody have.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
So,
who's the most competent engineer we've got then?
well, that might actually be Nero.
I think so.
Let's see. I want to quickly check. Actually, yeah, it evens out. It would be Nero.
Right.
Doviah is a close second. So, but Doviah is giving the information back and forth. And Nero is on the Casablanca.
Yes.
Unless, if you want to take the main role, I would allow you to spend 2 points of momentum for an advantage, which is that actually you were stationed back on the Pathos, because that is where the main bulk of the transporting is going to be happening from. Which does mean that you're not going to be on the Casablanca in case things go wrong. Would you want to do that?
To be honest, I'd rather be on the Casablanca, the
Casablanca.
ship.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. That's fine.
Which means it's going to be an NPC doing the role.
Yeah. So.
Not unless the captain said otherwise.
So the situation here is that if things go well, then this is the only role we have control over. because the second one is rolled by the Pathos. If things go poorly, I'm not sure if we'll even get a secondary roll to try and fix it.
True. If you want me to go back, I will let you go back.
I think I'd rather be in a situation where
Yes. Time's up. So you're very
I'd
right.
rather be in a situation where you're doing the transporting, and if something needs to be done on the Casablanca, then we can give dice to NPCs, or hopefully I'd be in a position where I can make a leadership role to coordinate whatever efforts we're making.
Okay, that's fine. So we are.
Okay, so right.
It's
So
very metagamey
okay.
to strategize
Yeah,
that
it's
way,
fine.
but I
That's
think
fine. So Rogue, are you on the Casablanca or on the Pathos?
Let's get Pathos.
Pathos. Okay. We have just gone over the end of the stream, so depending on how this goes, this could go on for a while. Should we leave it on a cliffhanger?
Yes.
Yes?
We'll do the first roll. And then do the rest later.
Don't do half a cliffhanger. That's not fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd rather a clean cliffhanger
Yeah.
Sure.
than like a everything's a mess cliffhanger.
Yeah.
That's a will they or won't they?
Isn't that all
Kiss?
cliffhangers
No.
really?
There's nobody kissing, as far as I'm aware. Oh, you mean
Huh?
different? No, it's fine. Will they? Won't they? It's fine.
Oh.
Roll for it. Cliffhanger or not?
Oh, for
Says
goodness
Willis.
sake. Yeah, I think it's good to leave it on a cliffhanger like this.
A D12.
Tell you what. Okay. So we could roll both of the dice, and then I'll just leave the explanation to next episode, but that would be a bit messy.
Yeah, I'd rather just cut it off here.
Okay. It is...
Yeah.
The tension is so high. The tension is so high.
Oh god.
Okay.
Well, it looks like we're gonna have to find out next week. Will they make it?
Dun dun
Will they
dun. Okay. Right. So that's
Well.
going. I really thought we'd finish the episode with this stream. Oh, do you have a cold,
for that.
Mr. W?
I think he's having a mental breakdown.
Put down.
Tension
Yeah.
is so
I
thick.
just
Just for context, it's not been the best of days. So
So the Commodore and the First Officer both need to are both unfit to
we need shore leave already.
Okay.
So the Commodore needs to be shot.
Alright.
So, there we are. Join us next time for what is bound to be the last part of the Casablanca experiment.
We definitely won't have another 4-part episode. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, definitely
Yeah.
not.
5 parts, sure, but 4 parts, no. Okay.
We'll see.
Mhm.
Right. So yes.
Does anyone have feedback for the session?
It's
Tense.
Oh, very tense. But it's
it's-
good.
It's just the word tense in big bold letters. And
Yeah, it's not
italics.
bad tense
and-
though. It's
and
good
underlined.
tense.
Space tension.
Yeah, it's very dramatic.
Great.
That's what you
Space
like, really,
feedback?
yeah.
Yeah. I think that the pacing for this episode has been a lot better than Sentinel of Gul'dan. In Sentinel of Gul'dan, I think there was quite a bit of it where there were hints that just weren't picked up on, and so there was quite a bit of
Yeah.
uncertainty, which this doesn't have. So
Maybe it's also because of the Commodore's initiative he takes in matters.
Or it might just be more
Or
relaxed.
or also because we had like ridiculously successful rolls over
Yeah.
and over and over again.
Yeah, that also is
And the
helpful.
crew's more experienced.
Yeah. More experience.
Yeah, all I'm going to say is the pilot is doing the engineering.
Yes.
How bad does it have to get?
Well, saying that, on Voyager, Tom Paris was pretty much a jack of all trades. One hand, he's an ace pilot on one episode, and on the next episode, he breaks the warp 10 speed barrier, making a shuttle that goes infinitely fast, and also has the side effect
Okay.
of devolving humans to turn into amphibians temporarily, which is okay because you can reverse it with the transporters, thus actually rendering the technology usable, but it's never picked up on ever again.
So basically, I accidentally made that character.
No.
The actors are becoming more
It'll be
comfortable with
different
casting.
if we
Mhm.
ever get our chief engineer on board.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm sure that'll happen next episode.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely won't be a lingering plot thread that goes on for half a campaign.
Oh, that's just the running
Yeah,
gag.
so-
That's just the running gag.
This
That
series
we've got no chief engineer.
gets so old, then they just go, oh, there you go.
Just the canned laughter every
Mhm.
time chief engineer is mentioned. Oh yeah, he's not on board. Ha 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 ha
Very funny. So,
It's,
ha.
it's half a season plot gag, then it just gets so old, they just go, throwing it.
yeah. So, yes. I won't be seeing you on Saturday. This time. Next
Yeah.
time will be back to normal. Be fine. And I have to say, I am really happy with how this is turning out. And yes, I'm just really happy with it. So thank you all so much for being part of this. And this stream will be archived on YouTube.
Right.
And
Yes.
shoutouts CangoFango streams on Sundays. He
Yes.
streams OMSI2 map development, building a beautiful map for buses to
It's
drive
for
on here in the
memories.
UK. And fictional. And yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, it has been many months since I last streamed that, but I might actually do it again.
Yes.
So yeah.
I think-
Anyway,
I think unless someone else has anything else to say, that's where we'll
Yes,
end the
please.
stream. Oh, go ahead.
I'd just like to shout out, I do have a text-based roleplay server. Just DM me if you're interested, and I'll send you an invite.
that's via Discord.
On Discord, yes.
Yeah, via Discord, yeah.
And on Discord you are...
I am W with a full stop at the end.
Okay. Right.
Right.
Period.
Granted, in order to message you on Discord, they need the numbers, but you know it's okay.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Well,
they-
if they're in the server, then they should be able
If they
to.
join Shout as a
Yeah, should be able to
server,
find it.
Yeah.
they'll be
Yeah,
admin.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah, if they join the server.
If they don't, then it'll be a challenge
Then will be-
to contact
Huh.
them.
Yeah, but it's easier if they just...
Yeah.
And even, you don't have to stay on there if you
just
want to get in
need-
touch.
if you
Anyway,
just want to
anyway,
stay-
you know that. You know that. I don't need to tell you that. Even though a lot of YouTubers do tell people that for some strange reason. I don't know. Anyway, maybe it works. I've never tried it. So, with that,
I won't try it. Anyway,
uh,
yes,
it was fun.
it was.
And next time, we'll hopefully have the conclusion.
Yes. We'll
So,
Yes.
bye everybody.
Bye.
See you on Thursday.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.